One of the biggest storylines when it comes to the court is the fact that the Connecticut Sun are undefeated, and it's largely due to their triple-double queen, Alyssa Thomas. So it's time for today's checklist, where I'll tell you about a player that refuses on the court to be checked, and this one is all about AT. So if you look at this list of players right here, this is the top highest list of people that account for the highest percentage of points scored or assisted on, and she's number 2. Look at the list. It's guards and AT, a point forward, and I'll show you exactly how she's the triple-double queen on the court. So let's head to the court right here, because it starts with rebounding. She is just ferocious. Yes, it's a physical league. Okay, that was a little getaway, but she throws the dime. The Sun, they amount for the second most points scored within 5 feet range, and that's largely due to AT's vision and her tenacity. And speaking of the vision, she leads the WNBA, 8.8 assists a game. Here, the defense is sleeping. I love this misdirection cut, and then you'll get DB on a wide open layup. But this is my favorite part, y'all. It's her signature move. What is it, y'all?
It's the
spin. So you know it's coming, but typically it comes in transition. If she's doing this in the half court, it's crazy. There's a spin. There's 6'8" at the rim. Doesn't matter. AT is too strong for all of that. So again, the Sun, they're seeking their first ever championship this year, and it will largely come due to the engine, who is AT.
This isn't just another trade. This is the kind of move that reshapes the WNBA and sends shockwaves through the entire league. Alyssa Thomas, the heart and soul of the Connecticut Sun, is heading to the Phoenix Mercury, leaving behind a legacy and a massive void. But wait, the real bombshell Satou Sabally is on her way to Indiana, forming a tour. The ripple effects of these moves will be felt for years, and we're breaking it all down. You do not want to miss this. Stay locked in as we analyze how these trades impact championship aspirations, power shifts, and the new reality of the WNBA. And before we dive in, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for all the latest updates on the league's biggest move.
Has been so good today with Bonner playing relative.
Here's Mabry. Thomas leans in and finishes. And the rebound secured by Thomas. Here's Thomas in transition, able to finish. Indiana throughout the year, when they've struggled, they've looked fragile. As Harrington
has been very, very good on both ends.
They've outscored Indiana's bench 9-0. What a dish. Bond attempt. Here's Thomas. Bouncing. Burton finishing. And you can hear the Fever contingent getting loud here in Uncasville. Thomas. Thomas, nice delivery from Mabry. And nothing. It's the playoffs. Thomas from the elbow. Why not? Thomas again using. Thomas going to work again. 3 to shoot, fading away.
Alyssa Thomas shocked over what just happened to Alyssa Thomas, leaving the Connecticut Sun. Nobody saw that coming. Not like this. She wasn't just another player on the roster. She was a Sun, their heartbeat, their unshakable force, their leader both on and off the court. But once Phoenix slapped the core designation on her, it was only a matter of time. Free agency wasn't even on the table anymore. Instead, Thomas found herself as the centerpiece of a blockbuster trade that sent shockwaves through the league. And just like that, the balance of power shifted. Now Thomas is packing her bags for the Arizona desert, teaming up with Diana Taurasi and the revamped Phoenix Mercury to chase that elusive championship. But here's the thing: did the Connecticut Sun just make a huge mistake? For years, this team has been so close, right on the verge of something great, but never quite able to seal the deal. Another deep playoff run seemed like a sure bet until now. The issue isn't just losing Thomas's stats, it's losing her grit, her leadership, the way she fought on every possession and held her teammates to a higher standard. She was their identity. Without her toughness, playmaking, and unmatched versatility on defense, where does the team go from here? What kind of team are they without her?
I thought during the game, during the play, on the both on the motion, and it's like we try to look at how hard it goes.
And then there's Phoenix. This is a squad that desperately needed a spark, a playmaker, someone who could lock down defensively, someone to push their pace to the next level. Alyssa Thomas checks every single box. She's tailor-made for their system. But is this enough to move the Mercury ahead of teams like the super-stacked Aces or Liberty? Or are they just setting themselves up for an all-in gamble that might not pay off? It's a risky play, no doubt, but it could end up redefining the league attack coel. To Indiana, a game changer that no one saw coming. But wait, we need to talk about the move that's got the entire league sitting up and paying attention. Satou Sabally is heading to the Indiana Fever. Yes, you read that right. This move, it changes everything. Fever fans have been waiting for a moment like this, a move that screams we're not here to rebuild anymore. We're here to compete. Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston were already giving Indiana one of the most exciting young duos in basketball, but that wasn't enough. They needed one more piece, someone who could elevate them from fun to watch underdogs to serious contenders. They found that in Sabally. She's not just another forward. She's a Swiss Army knife on the court, versatile, smart, and dangerous. Sabally can do it all, stretch the floor, defend almost any position, and take the pressure off Clark while complementing Boston's dominance in the paint. Let's be clear, Satou Sabally is not just a solid addition. She's an all-star. She's a matchup nightmare. She's the kind of player who makes other teams lose sleep. Her ability to play a dynamic inside-out style of basketball is exactly what the Fever needed to officially level up with her size, shooting, and defensive instincts. Indiana isn't just in the conversation anymore. They're a legit threat to everyone. But here's where it gets really interesting. Indiana wasn't even supposed to have a shot at landing Sabally. Everyone expected Phoenix to make their move, pairing Sabally with Alyssa Thomas to build their own version of a super team. Instead, Indiana swooped in, blindsided the league, and changed the entire power dynamic. What does this tell us about Indiana's ambition? They're not here to just compete. They want everything, and they want it now. The real question is, how does the rest of the league even respond to this? How many ripple effects will this trade create? One thing's for sure, the Fever aren't just rebuilding anymore. They're building something special, something potentially dominant. The rest of the WNBA better get ready. The Mba powers shift, who gains and who loses.
It would make sense that she would want to go to New York, to Liberty, to play with her sister. Coming off of a championship, be a perfect fit to that team. And I think she wants to go in a big-time market. I think she is into fashion, if I'm not mistaken. And like I say, her sister was there, so just see.
What stands out the most with these recent changes, the land ESC of the WNBA is transforming right before our eyes. The Connecticut Sun are left spinning, trying to figure out how to move forward after losing their star player. The Phoenix Mercury are all in with their bold moves, but will they actually be stronger than they were before? And then there's Indiana, which has evolved from a young, promising team into a squad that can truly compete against the league's elite. So, who are the real losers? Here, Connecticut is definitely feeling the stain. They've just lost a player who could have guided them to a championship. But let's not overlook Phoenix. Their gamble on Alyssa Thomas might backfire if they don't surround her with the right support. And let's not forget Dallas, who just watched Sabally leave for Indiana. Now on to the winners. Indiana Fever fans, it's time to celebrate. You've just landed a crucial piece for what could be a dynasty in the making with Clark, Boston, and Sabally on the roster. The Fever are no longer just an entertaining team. They've become a serious threat. The rest of the WNBA better be ready. What's next for the MVP race? With so much movement in the league, it's clear that the MVP race is going to heat up significantly. Alyssa Thomas, who finished second in MVP voting last season, is now with Phoenix. Will she rise to even greater heights in her new environment? Or will adjusting to a different team hinder her performance? Then we have Satou Sabally playing alongside the talents of Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Means she'll have more opportunities, favorable matchups, and the chance to post impressive stats if Indiana emerges as a top 3 team, you can bet Sabally's name will be thrown into the MVP conversation. And we can't forget about Caitlin Clark. She's already one of the most discussed players in the league. And with Sabally on her team, the Fever's ascent could unexpectedly place Clark on an MVP path. Is it possible we could see a rookie take home the award? History has shown us that anything can happen in basketball. Dallas wings the unexpected setbacks.
Welcome the Connecticut Suns to Boston.
The Connecticut Sun have shipped up to Boston in front of 19,000 plus.
They got colors for colors.
Harris sets the feet. Nice. Thomas, push shot is good. Alyssa Thomas has it all going on. Carrington lays it home. CD guarding you up. Carrington, hands in the cookie jar. Bonner, Mabry. Women's sports in Boston is strong.
While all eyes are on Alyssa Thomas and Satou Sabally, the Dallas Wings just faced a tough blow. Losing Sabally means they've lost a vital player, and now they need to hustle to find someone to fill that gap. They still have talent on the roster, but this loss really hurts. Dallas has been trying to build a contender for years, but every time it seems they're making progress, something pulls them back. First, there was the loss of Liz Cambridge, then Arcogano found herself shouldering too much of the scoring burden, and now they're faced with losing Sabally. What does this mean for their place in the Western Conference? One thing is certain: Dallas needs to act quickly. If they don't make a significant move soon, they might find themselves overshadowed as teams like Indiana rise. How will Connecticut bounce back? Without Alyssa Thomas, screen bottom left, Isaac Barnett signals timeout as C. Aubrey was watching Charles and Carr. The Connecticut Sun have been a steady force in the WNBA for several seasons. But losing Alyssa Thomas is a tough blow. She was their leader, their driving force, and the one who kept the team united. Now Connecticut has to figure out how to forge ahead. Without their cornerstone player, should they focus on rebuilding? Or do they go all out to find another ST to fill Thomas's shoes? They have talent, but their window for a championship just narrowed significantly. The decisions they make this offseason will shape their future, and the pressure is mounting. The future of the WNBA is here.